Ever since the release of Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker's first teaser trailer over at Star Wars Celebration back in April of this year, followed by the second teaser trailer that released just recently over at D23 and by Good Morning America, it left a lot of fans around the world very excited and eager to see the third and final trailer of The Rise of Skywalker. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, what's really exciting about Episode 9 is that we do know that this film, at the end of the day, is going to be, well, a revelation film. It's going to have many different twists and turns that will lead to saga-wide implications in this story that's really going to reshape the Star Wars franchise, specifically the Skywalker saga itself. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to various shot descriptions of the upcoming final trailer of Episode 9, this is where things begin to get very intense for this movie. Now, specifically, shot descriptions consisting of a sequence where it's explained that both Rey and Kylo Ren are said to be inside of a ship engaging in a lightsaber duel, where it's described that the ship that they are on is said to be falling down toward the atmosphere of a strange world. It's said that one of the shots is described to involve Kylo Ren running on one of the walls of the ship with his saber ignited and coming in to attack Rey, where Rey is said to block the strike, where eventually they are floating in mid-air after the gravity generators are disabled. It's said that the scene is a mixture of Star Wars and Inception for the very brief segment that shows a different type of lightsaber duel. While this happens, it's said that a revised track of Battle of the Heroes begins to play in the background. The next describes a sequence in which Rey is said to be staring at the binary sunset of Ahch-To, where she is said to be sitting on top of a cliff that is said to be the very spot that Luke died in The Last Jedi. As she is sitting there, it's explained that she begins to close her eyes, where she hears past voices of Obi-Wan, Anakin, Yoda, and even Luke Skywalker. As Luke can be heard in the background as well, it's explained to be a beautiful shot that was filmed in IMAX. Another goes over a segment where Kylo Ren is said to be standing in front of Darth Vader's charred and burned armor that is standing up like a statue, where Kylo is said to place the melted helmet of Vader on top of the figure to complete it. As this happens, a new theme of Kylo Ren is said to play over the shot that is a mixture between Kylo's theme and the Imperial March. So let's go over a couple of parts about this. Now, we do know that the third and final trailer is a very important piece by Disney and Lucasfilm, because we do know that this film is entering the marketing phase and how it's coming into full swing now at the very end of September into early to mid-October, which is where things are really going to start to stir up for this movie, and a lot of fans are going to get very excited about the upcoming footage. So, the one piece that really stands out to me a lot here, of course, is this new type of lightsaber duel. You guys may or may not be aware, but there are going to be a lot of lightsaber duels in The Rise of Skywalker, you know, in the forms of present time and visions and different types of saber duels that we haven't seen. I honestly cannot wait to see exactly what JJ has in store, and that leads us to this segment where, in the upcoming footage, they are going to demonstrate a segment where both Rey and Kylo Ren are said to be running on the walls of this ship that is said to be falling down toward the atmosphere of a specific world, where as this happens, the gravity generators begin to get disabled, where they are now fighting in mid-air, floating in mid-air, striking their sabers against each other, where this is actually said to be inspired from Star Wars The Clone Wars, where there was a zero-gravity lightsaber duel between both Rey and Kylo Ren. And what I love so much about that is that you have a moment where both Rey and Kylo Ren are fighting off the ground, in mid-air, in space, technically speaking, of course, because they're inside the ship and there's no gravity in there. What I like about this, though, is that this is a scene where it's actually said to be inspired by the Clone Wars, and you can really see how JJ is paying a lot of attention to not just the EU, but also Star Wars Rebels, one of the big hit animated TV series, as well as the Clone Wars. So you can really see what they're trying to do with this movie. So the other piece that I do want to go over is Ahch-To. Now, Ahch-To is coming back into The Rise of Skywalker, which is great. I love that world. Honestly, I think it's by far one of the most original planets in the Star Wars sequel trilogy, because if you look at some of the other worlds like Jakku, which is basically Tatooine, or if you look at the world of Crate, that's basically a light version of Hoth, because yes, it is a salt planet, it still has a look of Hoth in the way that it was actually used. So with that being said, this particular segment is said to involve Ahch-To, where Rey is meditating on the exact boulder that Luke Skywalker died on, the exact cliff, if you will, as he vanished into the sunset. And as she is actually meditating on top of the rock, she said to hear the past voices of Luke, Obi-Wan, Kenobi, and even Yoda. You can really see how they're trying to bring back Ahch-To in a specific segment in this movie, said to be a big part in the second act of Episode 9 that is going to be used as a way to evolve the character of Rey in a very unpredictable way that's going to take fans by surprise by JJ. And it's funny because we do know that JJ never really got the chance to explore that world in greater depth. He only got to really lightly touch on it at the very end of Episode 7. So anyways guys, drop a comment below, let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.